Hey there, this is Wojciech from Phase AI and PhaseLLM, and today I'll be walking you through creating your first batch job and experiment using PhaseLLM evaluation. So the idea behind PhaseLLM Evals is that you can create chats and using those chats, you can run batch jobs where you can test the same message multiple times. You can run across different types of models and you can see what happens so that you can make your own apps more resilient. So this is what you'll see once you log into our platform. And in this case, this is a new account, so there's no actual jobs yet. My first step is to create a new chat. So what I'm going to do is click new chat here, and that'll give me a list of chats here as well as the actual chat editor here. So I'm going to, for this demo, let's pretend we are building an LLM powered CRM system. We're going to have some data that we put into the system prompt, and then we want to see how consistent GPT-4 is in generating responses and lists of people for specific events. So this is the chat title, CRM data plus prompt. We're going to have a system prompt here that I've written earlier just to save space and time. And so basically it's you are a CRM bot, you track people's profiles, help your user pick the best people for certain tasks, jobs, etc. There's 4 people in the database: Bob, Anna, Joanne, Felix. I'm going to click overwrite to save this. So now if I refresh, I've got CRM data and prompt. I'm going to tag this as CRM data. That way, that's what I'll be using to actually reference this chat in a future job. So now we've got our data and we want to run an experiment. So what happens is you go to run job and you fill in this create job template. So we're going to give it a title. CRM job test, let's say. We're specifically focusing on CRM data. We're also going to tag our outputs as experiment 1, just so that we actually can reference these afterwards. So this is our first CRM experiment. And we're going to have an additional user message here. So in the experiments themselves, user messages will be sent to every single chat for every single experiment. We can also replace the original system prompt if we want to, but in this case, that is less relevant. So the user message that we will add here is we are organizing an LLM focused event. We'll be discussing productization of LLMs. And in this case, as I mentioned, we're going to just run this with GPT-4. We're going to run this 5 times. Now, in this specific experiment, what we're curious about is whether we will be getting the same results or consistent results across each of the runs, hence number of times to run 5. I'm going to queue the job. So it's saved. Now we're going to wait a few minutes for the job to run. If I go to home, you'll see here CRM job test scheduled. I've got my input chat, which is the CRM data plus prompt, and there's no generated chats yet. Typically, depending on how many experiments and how many chats you're running, this can take a few minutes, and you'll see the status update here. So I'll wait a little bit now, and we'll come back to this when the job is done. And we're back. So in this case, we've now created our job. The job has completed and we have 5 generated chats. So if I click on one of these now, I'll see a list of all the chats. This is also what you'll see if you click all chats. And you'll also see our original system prompt, the user message from the experiment, and then the assistant's response. So in this case, for the first message here, you see the assistant says, okay, for the LLM focused event, I'd recommend inviting Joanne. Anna might be a good option as well. But I would reach out to Joanne first. Okay, so Joanne followed by Anna. In the second message, I get something similar, Anna. On the other hand, Joanne. So similar but different. If I go to the third one, we see Anna as well, only Anna. So you can see how there's some consistency, but it's not fully consistent. Also, I'm getting a paragraph response here rather than maybe a list if I were building an LLM powered CRM. So I'm going to run one more experiment here on the original CRM data so that I could keep improving this. In this case, I'm going to have a structured data output. And again, focusing on the target tag for CRM data. And I'm going to call this, or I'm going to tag this experiment 2. The description will be structured data from our LLM. And now the message will be similar. We're organizing an meetup or event focused on productizing LLMs. We'd like to invite a few people from our CRM. Because we want it to be a little more structured, what I'm going to ask the LLM to do here is actually for every single person have yes, no in terms of whether they should be invited, and then why. So for each person in our CRM, please respond with the following structure. Name. Let's say line 1. Name, the name of the person. Line 2, yes, no, whether they should be invited. Line 3, justify your response. Okay. So same as before, we're going to run this 5 times because we want to see how consistent we are. We're going to queue the job. When I go back to home here, you'll see again, I've got the scheduled job here, and we'll come back in a few minutes again. So now when we refresh, we'll see that the second experiment has completed as well. Same input chats as before, 5 generated chats, similar name, but different as well in terms of the experiment itself. So I'm going to go click on all chats. You could see everything tagged with experiment 2 is the new set of results. So I'm going to click this and I'm going to see what we get. So in this case, we had the specific requirements around name, yes, no, and justifying our response. And so you could see here, Bob, no, Anna, yes, Joanne, yes, Felix, no, along with justification of why we should or shouldn't invite them. Let's go to the second example. Same idea, no, yes, yes, no, different justification. Third example, no, yes, yes, no. So you could see the LLM is a lot more consistent when we have this sort of data structure. Of course, the justification is different, but the list of people is surprisingly very consistent compared to before. So you can see here, we've now run 2 experiments, specifically with our CRM data and prompt. We've gotten better results with the second prompt, so and certainly more structured, and so we can keep iterating on this and build our LLM-powered CRM. So that's how you'd use PhaseLLM evaluation. Let us know if you have any questions or comments. My name is Wojciech. Email is w@phaseai.com. Thanks so much.